All right, so one of the SCP creators I have a lot of respect for is SCP Illustrated. And SCP Illustrated, he makes a lot of custom artwork. He puts a lot of effort into these videos. He puts a lot of time. And he is the one that put out the Apollyon video that was for SCP-001 about the sun turning people into wax figurines. And I thought that that was stellar. I thought that that was pretty much amazing. This one, I'm hoping, isn't going to be nearly as unnerving. I, with what this is about, I'm actually kind of looking forward to this one, considering this is a safe SCP called The Bear with the Heart of Patchwork. Now, I'm going to be putting all of SCP Illustrated's links in the description down below. I recommend that you go check him out. Him and the Volgan and the Exploring series are the three creators for SCP that I have really come to enjoy anything I see of theirs. But without saying anything else, the Mass Shadow asked for this in the Discord, so we're going to get into it. I hope you guys enjoyed as much as I know I'm going to, because one, it's SCP, and two, I mean, the thing looks cute in the thumbnail, doesn't it?
Good day everyone and welcome back to SCP Illustrated, entry log 88. Today we're going to be taking a look at SCP-2295, also known as the Bear with a Heart of Patchwork. Now, unlike my usual videos, this is a sweet SCP. It wants to do good in the world, so this is a nice little break from all the blood and guts we've been seeing recently. There's no content warning needed for this one, let's just get straight into it.
So kind of like 999, only a happy bear. Good.
The following data release has been authorized by the following council members and administration staff. Memo from Dr. Incident 031143.
Dr. Erickson is currently under observation, but all of his tests have come back negative, and he seems perfectly fine to me. I can conclude that without the aid of SCP-2295, that Dr. Erickson certainly would have died of his injuries. It is fortunate that Dr. Erickson thought to utilize SCP-2295 in the few moments he had left. The organs that have been replaced by SCP-2295 are fully functional, and Dr. Erickson's body has not rejected them. We could list him for an organ transplant to replace the patchwork, however I see no reason to. Following 24 hours of observation, he will be discharged.
Huh.
Description: SCP-2295 is a patchwork stuffed bear approximately 0.46 meters from head to foot and stuffed with synthetic fiber and cotton. SCP-2295 has a small anatomically correct pin of a heart on the left side of its thorax and a bow wrapped around its neck.
Huh.
The fabric and colour of SCP-2295's patches vary. Tests confirm that no components of SCP-2295 contain any anomalous chemical properties. SCP-2295 enters an active state when within 2 meters of a human sustaining major trauma to an organ. When in the proximity of 2 or more possible subjects, SCP-2295 will invariably choose the youngest subject. SCP-2295 will anomalously produce scissors, white thread, and either sewing needles or a crocheting hook from its mouth, and use any fabric and stuffing in close proximity to fashion an instance of SCP-2295-1, a patchwork imitation of the subject's organ. SCP-2295-1 vanishes from sight and the subject falls into a state of unconsciousness. SCP-2295-1 instances then replace the subject's damaged organ via anomalous means. The whereabouts of organs replaced this way are undetermined. If there is no usable material in close proximity, SCP-2295 will use fabric and stuffing from itself. SCP-2295 regenerates 1 gram of stuffing every day until completely replacing any lost or used stuffing. Note that fabric used this way does not regenerate, and additional fabric must be placed near SCP-2295 for the purpose of self-mending. Instances of SCP-2295-1 successfully carry out their respective functions, despite the numerous expected biological, chemical, and medical incompatibilities. Once within the subject, adjacent tissues and veins attach to the imitated organ without observable complications. There have been no cases of rejected SCP-2295-1 instances, and all subjects recorded at the time of writing made full recoveries. Special containment procedures.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. Special containment procedures. Give it a saddle to ride 999 around. How about that?
SCP-2295 is to be kept in a standard containment locker within Storage Wing 25 in Site-37. Personnel with Level 3 or higher security clearance are authorized to perform tests on SCP-2295 after filling out the appropriate paperwork. Please contact Dr. Gurgis if required access to SCP-2295 is expected to exceed 24 hours. Test Log 2295. Testing approved to test the limitations of SCP-2295. Materials provided within testing chamber. Subject D-2353, 38 years old. Diagnosis: lungs heavily damaged as a result of 25 years of smoking. Notes: SCP-2295 creates SCP-2295-1 using one black textile swatch and one red textile swatch. New lungs act at a capacity similar to those of healthy adult lungs. Subject D-3452, 50 years old. Diagnosis: frequent heart palpitations and severe atherosclerosis. Notes: SCP-2295 crochets SCP-2295-1 using various surrounding yarns. SCP-2295-1 observed to have a heartbeat before vanishing. Transfer successful. How SCP-2295-1 manages to perform function despite absorbent properties of materials and multiple gaps in design is unknown.
Okay, so seriously, the writer of this was absolutely brilliant. The writer of this SCP was absolutely brilliant. This takes something that, I know, of course not all of us, but I can remember when I was a kid, I had a teddy bear. And something would happen to the teddy bear, and you'd sew, I knew how to sew from a young age. You'd sew it back together, and it's all better now. And this is taking that and reversing it, which is it's such a basic flip, but at the same time, it works so well for this universe's material. It works so well. So this was an absolutely brilliant idea. It has the right amount of creepy considering what it's doing, but at the same time, it's still heartwarming, and it's still like, I love this kind of stuff, just because one simple switch of logic gets thrown, and then suddenly you have something like this, and I find it fantastic. The kind of bear that you usually associate with, a little kid owning it and sewing, like, its stomach gets ripped, stuffing comes out, you put stuffing back in, you sew it up, and the kid thinks it's good as new. Reverse that theory. Now the bear puts together a ramshackle organ, and you're good as new. Just, I love this stuff. I love this stuff.
Symptoms no longer present in subject. Subject D-7894, 24 years old. Diagnosis: first and second degree burns ranging throughout upper torso, left lateral and right leg. D-7894 sedated during testing. Notes: SCP-2295 sews two 5x5 meter sections of patchwork fabric. SCP-2295 cuts appropriately sized swatches and manually places one layer onto subjects' affected areas, creating multiple instances of SCP-2295-1, and then repeats this process. The created SCP-2295-1 layers act as a dermis and epidermis, and upon recovery, D-7894 claims to have retained feeling in replaced skin. Subject makes full recovery.
I'm loving this.
Subject D-2723, 18 years old. Diagnosis: cerebral hemorrhaging. Notes: SCP-2295 grasps various materials in its proximity in a distressed state for approximately 1 minute. SCP-2295 then anomalously produces a Dove milk chocolate king-size candy bar and offers it to the subject. SCP-2295 spends rest of test embracing the subject's lower right leg while anomalously producing a saline solution from its eyes. Addendum 2295.
Wow, that's ridiculous. That is so sad. That is so sad. It could not fix the brain. That's sad.
Document 2295 was recovered taped to SCP-2295 inside the site of a crashed mail delivery vehicle. Document 2295 is a red Get Well card with the text Kairos the Bear written on the front cover. Contents of Document 2295. To Tommy, because only time can mend all wounds. Love, Grammy.
Oh, don't tell me that's it.
And that concludes
I need more positive
SCP-2295.
stuff.
It is such a sweetie. It heals all wounds with whatever it can find, and if it can't find an appropriate material, it will use bits of itself. And sweeter still, if you're beyond help, it will give you chocolate and cry while giving you a hug. Him and 999 should be best mates.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like and subscribe if you did. Next time I'll be covering SCP-973, Smokey. Be sure to follow all the social media outlets of video.
I absolutely love this. This was absolutely outstanding. This is like this mixture in the SCP world. Like, I watched Everest just now by the Volgan, and it was genuinely creepy, especially at the end when it's revealed that a certain percentage of Everest is actually corpses. Now this, on the other hand, this is a whole different ball game because this is just very, very nice. It is a very heartwarming story. It really is just this really heartwarming story because it cares. It does what it can. It does what it can, and it and 999 seriously need to share containment cell together and just be good boys all around Site 13. I really did enjoy this. Every once in a while, especially this week, I need, some feel-good stuff in the mix of my horror and absolute batshit insanity. With all that being said, though, all of SCP-Illustrated's links are going to be in the description down below. Go give the guy a like and subscribe because, frankly, the guy earns it every single video he puts out. If you like this video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to be putting all of his links in the description down below, including his Patreon and the links to the original source material. If you like what I do here, I have a Patreon down below, and jump in the Discord. There's an SCP discussion channel where you guys can yell at each other, and I'm not allowed to come in there because I might spoil myself, or you guys might say something that I have absolutely no idea what's going on, and it will cripple my brain and cause me to basically start shaking in my seat. In any case, thank you guys for recommending Thank you guys for recommending stuff like this. Thank you, Mass Shadow, for recommending this one. It was a very nice break from the common horror. In any case, I'll catch you guys next time.